On today's episode of The Plug Chicago, I got to interview the multi-talented Caprice Williams. She's an actress, writer, director, producer. Hear about her latest projects and how you can reach out, possibly get involved.
Hi everybody, my name is Caprice Williams. I also go by Rouz. I'm an independent filmmaker in the city of Chicago. I am working on my first feature film. We're done with production, we're now in post-production. And the trailer is out now. Check it out on my YouTube channel at Rouz TV. That's ROUZ as in zebra TV.
You know, this won't lead you to nothing but trouble. Well, I have a clean record. I can afford to get in a little bit of trouble.
I don't think I ever seen you here before.
It's my second night here.
Second night, huh? What's the change?
Surprise!
Let's go outside and wait for the other guy.
My birthday was yesterday.
I like storytelling. I started off just writing little novels, little short books and things like that. And then once I saw a girl that I went to high school with, I saw that she was actually producing films. She was making them. I was like, I wonder if I could make them, because I'm real like hands-on. I like to get into it and just do it. So once I got on set with her, I think I was like the boom operator or something terrible. Don't do that job if your arms are weak. But I was the boom operator, and it was just, I'm like, this is easy. Like, I didn't know the financial aspect of it or how much extra work it took, but to be on set and to see that it was possible to do, that motivated me to do my own thing. So I had wrote my first script, Journey, season 1. I had wrote that, and I took a crack at it. I tried it. Even though it was like, looking at it, it's like a lot of errors, but I'm just like, I'm still proud of it, you know, because it was the first thing that I ever did, and I did it like kind of like by myself. And I, you know, so I enjoy telling stories. I enjoy the whole assembling a crew, a team, a cast, getting the locations done. I just enjoy the whole producing of it and directing the actors, just being in that atmosphere, just creating things from like the sky and just taking it and turning it into something that's other people could see. I just enjoy it a lot. Yeah. I think ignorance is bliss, because when I did season 1, I was just so happy to be doing it. And I didn't feel the pressure. Like, it was a couple of days, I won't ever do it again, but it was a couple of days that we were on set for like 16, 17 hours. And I didn't realize, I was just so excited. Like, I had moments where I'm like, I'm tired. But it's like, all right, come on, let's get it done. But the first season was just like, I was ignorant to everything that it took to, because I had a team of people around me that was telling me what to do and telling me like, you should do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to make sure we have this, got to make sure we have that. So I just did everything they told me to do. And when season 2 came around, I felt that pressure because I didn't have as many people in my ear telling me what I need to do, because I think they felt like because I did season 1 that I had enough experience to kind of stand on my own. So I felt all that pressure from season 2, and then all the errors that happened in season 1. We had like a recap after season 1, like this can't happen, this can't happen, this can't happen. So I was no longer ignorant to it, and it wasn't as like fun as it was. Like season 1 was really fun. Season 2 was a lot more pressure, because I'm like, okay, I got to do this, make sure we do this right. It ain't just about just doing it. I got to make sure we do it right. And then that's kind of like how that process went. But all in all, each experience, each project has built me, built my character, built my endurance up, so I'm able to like to do each project better than the last, if that make any sense. Some of it is like I say that Journey season 1 and season 2 was a little bit of just my life a little bit. Just enhanced, of course, for, you know, the camera. But some of the stories, just like when I made With Us, which is also on my YouTube, a short film, I was just driving. Like, I get my ideas just driving, just thinking. Like, my imagination is wild. Like, it's wild. Like, when I get budgets to do the real movies that I want to do, like, I know I'm going to produce something super wild. But it's just thoughts that come in my head. Like with us, I was thinking like, because I was just, even with my production company, it's called Rouz, and nobody really asked me what Rouz mean, but Rouz is a play. The way I spell it is Rouz, but it's really spelled Rouse. So that means to awake from. And I made my company back when that whole little stay woke look, everybody was saying stay woke. So I'm like, that's kind of corny. I don't really want to say stay woke, but I do want my productions to always make people think. So I'm like, what can I call my company to make it like, like kind of like stay woke? So I'm like, Rouse. So everything that I produce, I try to make it as thought provoking as possible because I feel like Montana 300 said, it's your responsibility to give the people something that they could use and not just feed them BS. So, and I'm trying to kind of chill on being so pushy with my messages in my films, but just let people get what they get, by creating something of substance. But when I made With Us, I was just riding down the street, actually on the E-way, I'll never forget, and I was just thinking like they still haven't found that girl Kiara Cole, and it's just so much BS going on in our communities, and we don't care about each other for real. There's something could be going on next door to you, and you wouldn't know because some people just don't care. We don't have that care for each other like we used to. We don't look out for each other. So With Us was just basically provoked off my thoughts of being irritated with majority of these like little gang banging little boys. And some of these grown goofy men, like they gang bang too. And a gang, I feel like anything that's when you some type of entity, you should have some type of structure to you. So I feel like with these gangs, there's no structure. And I feel like a lot of things that's going on in our communities, if we got all these gangs on all these blocks, why don't they do something to help their community? Why are you sabotaging where you at? Or why are you not trying to help where you repping? Why your block dirty? Why the houses messed up? Why y'all haven't bought any houses? Why y'all ain't flipped no properties on the block? Why kids, why y'all not holding back to school drives? I don't know, I just felt that way. And the biggest thing, it was a girl and then her family came out and said on Facebook, like, stop saying that her organs was missing. I don't remember this young lady name, but rest in peace to her. But With Us was, all those thoughts was in my head when I created With Us. And then I heard about the story of the little girl being found in an abandoned building with her organs missing in Chicago. And sex trafficking is really high, and people don't understand how high it is because, again, we ignorant to a lot of things that's going on in our communities. So I just wrote it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have it where, and I always get the big piece of the movie, and then I have to go in and do everything else. But I'm like, I know I'm gonna have somebody locked in the basement. I'm gonna have a bunch of dudes that's outside gang banging or whatever, and a girl locked in the basement, and nobody knows that she in this basement right next door to their trap house. So that's kind of like how I came up with that story, and that's how I kind of operate with all of my work. Like it come from a real strong emotion inside of me. So yeah, so that's kind of like how I come up with it. Sorry, that was long. I think with those skits, I'm trying not to get so caught up in them because I don't want to be considered a influencer. I don't want to be considered somebody who do skits and videos and she funny. I'm not a comedian. I may give comedic relief in some of my movies, but I don't do that. But I just do it when it's just because at heart I'm really silly. Like I play too much sometimes. But that video, I don't know. What was so crazy is I know it's time for me to do something when something keep playing over and over again in my head. And I'm like, all right, God, I hear you. I'm going to listen to you. First of all, I didn't say all glory to God. I just want everybody to know all glory go to God. He is my father. I walk with him. He guides me. So I don't want nobody to ever think that I don't believe in God. I love God. Everything I do, he's held my hand. He's big. He's a big part of my life, my career, everything. So I just want to say that. But no, when that video did the numbers that it did, I'm just watching it grow. I'm like, I called Tay. I'm like, Tay, it's at 100K views. Then I'm like, Tay, it's at 256. I'm like, Tay, it hit 500 views. And I'm like, Tay is sitting at 600,000 views. We was just like, he like, man, they going crazy. But Facebook showed the most love. Like Facebook showed the most love. But when I'm in the shower, I'm like, just listening to like Jenna's like, girl, I apologize, I'm to blame. Like, that's so funny because men be saying these things and they don't mean it, you know? So I need to do something that's like comedic to this. Like I always like to give like that little comedic relief. So just to watch it do the numbers that it did, I'm like, that's super dope. That's dope. Like, but again, all glory to God, because you can't say you have a feeling sometime like this finna hit. Some people have feelings like, yeah, this finna be it. I ain't know it was gonna do all that, but I knew that it was a good video, you know. And like I made another one right after it. I'm like, this ain't the one, but I'm gonna still do it anyways. But I knew that the other one was real good, and it just felt good to do it and do it with somebody that had like acting experience. So yeah. It was cool. I'm happy about that. It got my following up a little bit, and I'm just grateful for it. That's all. Yeah. That's an amazing question. First of all, thank you. Thought provoking. I think that I would want people. I would want like I listen to a lot of like inspiration, motivation, gospel sermons and things like that. And I always hear a lot of preachers say, people say they about God, but you don't see them, you don't see God on them. And even though I curse, you know, and that's me and my father business, you know, and I say what I say, at the end of the day, I want people to see God in me. Like, no matter what I do, like, even if somebody try to cause harm to me, if you see God in me, ain't no way that weapon is going to prosper, like, against me. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you may feel, God, you know, I really want them to see him in me. Like, every move that I make, anything that I do, even if I fail, still see him in me, because it's a lesson that I need to learn in that fall. Even if I go through a real bad heartbreak, still see him in me. Like, even if I hit rock bottom, still see him in me, because it's something that I've been through a whole lot. I've been through a lot. And I just get tired of talking about it, but I've been through a lot, and I've been at the bottom more than once. And every time, like, I always knew it was just God wanting to get my attention again, wanting to bring me back to him. So whenever people see me, whether I'm at the bottom, whether I'm all the way up top, I want them to see him. I want them to see how far he has brought me, because we here to be a living representative of him. We here to show his glory and show his mercy. And people say stuff like, and stop saying this to me, anybody that watched this video, people say stuff like, if God is real, why do he allow us to go through the things we go through? And I always make reference to our children, because God is our father. So if you have a child and you just can't dictate everything your child do. You could get them the sauce and say, look, if you do this, this was going to happen. But if you do this, this was going to happen. And this is your choice. And God give us free will. Some things do happen that's like, that was wild. That person didn't deserve that. And we cannot take his power away because those things happen, because it's still wickedness in the world. Like, the devil is still very much alive. It's just as much as God. But some things happen that's unfortunate. But if God is your father and he give us the freedom to love him or not love him, to believe him or not believe in him, you know, that's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he still gets the glory out of everything, because whether you at the bottom or you at the top, if you believe in God and you have faith, he's going to get you to where he needs you to be. Because our lives, like, I could be a blessing to somebody just by them watching me. Anybody that's really, 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 really follow me, and it's a lot of my high school friends on Facebook that knew what was going on, because that's when it all started, Lifestyle Life. They'll see how much I've been through and where I'm at. And you watching me, I'm nothing but a testimony, and something that'll make you believe that it may be bad right now, but it's going to get better later, as long as you don't stop and you keep that faith in God. So I be going off on tangents. But anyways, I want to get back to the question. I want them to see God in me. And then right behind God, I want them to see, like, I'm very, anything I want in this life, I'm going to get. And I don't mean that in no cocky way. I mean that in the most humble, respectful way possible. Anything in this life that I want, I'm going to get, because God has that waiting for me for wherever I get to, where I'm going. And I'm a beast. Like, I'm a beast. Like, I be knocked down, but I get up. Like, so I want them to see God, and I want them to see that I'm one of his favorite children, and I'm a warrior. Like, I'm the woman's king. I know that's crazy, but I promise you, like, I just feel like he done put me through so many battles. I feel undefeated, because nothing ever took me out of my sanity. Nothing ever took me out of my purpose. Nothing ever took me out. So to go through so many battles, like how they train the people in the Navy and the Army, the Black Ops, like, you only make it to the end if you made it through all those battles. So now you're a Black Op. Now you're a Navy SEAL. Now you're a part of the Army because you made it through the test. I'm a warrior. Like, I made it through every test. And if he got some more for me, he's just training me up to get me ready for whatever is to come. But I want them to know that I'm God's child. I'm favored. I'm blessed. I'm a warrior. Anything I go through, I'm going to conquer it. Like, anything I set my mind to get, and I'm going to get it. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being genuine. If I could leave the audience with anything, though, I would leave them with, because I feel like a lot of people in my life are going through something, and it's mainly like financial. But I just want to leave everybody with, troubles don't last always. And sometimes you have to sit in silence and be still and cut off the world in order to hear what God has to say to you. And I know I'm a filmmaker, I'm a writer, director, producer, but I'm a human and a woman first. So I understand that. So get somewhere in isolation, cut your phone off, cut all contact to you off, and listen to what God has to say for you, for what he wants you to do next. And you guys can follow me on social media. I'm at Rouz Productions on Instagram and YouTube, Rouz TV, ROUZ_productions, and ROUZ TV. And that is it from C. Rouz.
If you enjoyed this series, The Plug Chicago, and you know someone who's doing something in the community, doing something for the city, please have them go to www.fwmediallc.com and fill out a submission form, because I would like to meet them and feature them on the show.